All right.
Welcome back.
Welcome to the Loose Worrior podcast. This is episode 3.
Whoop whoop. Thanks for joining us.
My co-host, Marisol Galvez.
Yes. Eventually I'll get my own podcast, guys. But right now, I'm trying to get the hang of this thing, you know?
And today we are talking about...
Why'd you put me on the spot? So listen. I told Luis, I was like, let's do a Q&A today. Let's get to know each other. You know, let's have the listeners get to know each other, right? Because we might do a Q&A like when we're big. And then people have even more questions.
What questions do they have? This is my social security. No, shit. And there's the rest. No. Well, if you want to do a Q&A, I'll start off.
Yeah.
Why do you like kombucha so much?
Why do I like kombucha? Okay.
Sponsored by Kirkland Signature Organic Kombucha Ginger Lemonade. Lemonade? What
I actually started drinking kombucha back in like 2016, 2015. That's because I think Mom bought it one day. And I tried it, and I liked it, and then I just got on the train. So, for those of you who do not know, it's live probiotics. It's good for your gut health. If I could, I would drink this on a daily, but kombucha is actually pretty expensive. I don't know. Because I go to Walmart. They go to Costco.
It's like, what is it made out of? What is kombucha? What is kombucha?
So, it's a tea. It is a filtered, fermented tea that is brewed similarly in the same process as beer, but not fermented to the point where it becomes alcoholic.
But it could.
Right, yes. So there is such thing as hard kombucha, and that's where it's fermented to the point of more than 0.4%, I think is considered alcoholic beverage.
I think so.
So like once you get brewed past that percentage, then it's considered like an alcoholic kombucha. Obviously, like I've seen 1.2% kombuchas. Like obviously, they're not going to get you fucked up. But then there's like hard ones that have the same percentage
as beer.
Yep.
Like 5.0.
And it's brewed in the similar way. It's just.
But do they taste as good?
Some people just don't like the vinegary taste. It's
hard to get past.
Yeah, honestly. It's like you like it or you don't. It's like beer. You like it or you don't. You know, there's really no in between.
That is honestly true. Or you just drink it long enough where you get used to it and you just know what you like and what you don't. Like honestly, like when you first try beer when you're a little boy, a little girl, you're like, oh, I'm not drinking that again. But then you're like 35, like 2 kids, you're like, let me get a beer, let me get a Bud Light.
The fact that he said Bud Light out of all beers, we don't drink Bud Light in this house.
We got a Bud Light in the refrigerator downstairs. Only if there's a white person that comes to our household, then they get a Bud Light.
We have backup for the white folk that come to our house. We're like, oh, we got Bud Light.
We got Bud
Light.
Light.
Coors Light.
And if they see the note of that, we got
Light.
We got Taqueta. We got Corona. We got
all the Mexican beer.
We got so many wines.
Because surprisingly, Mom and Dad have been on their wine game lately.
They don't know what's good and what's bad. We gotta do a wine tasting podcast
like a family wine tasting.
This shit.
Honestly, because I don't know, I've always wanted to get into beer. I mean, wine.
We should go to a bar and set up this and then just do a beer tasting. Just like, can I have a tasting of all the beers and they just give us a little label?
They're called flights. Have you ever?
No.
So
how much is
Luis
it for a flight?
is pretty young. Okay, for you guys that don't know,
21.
he just turned legal drinking age.
This last year. Now I'm gonna turn 22.
Yeah. So he hasn't really gotten quite the experience. See, when I was younger, when I was like less than 21, my drinking experience was very
liquor.
Unhinged.
You'd be drinking that Fireball.
Okay, I didn't go that far. That was like you've hit rock bottom at some point if you're in the back of somebody's pickup drinking Fireball, all right? That's like...
Why is it that scenario? The back of somebody's pickup drinking Fireball. Is it at a tailgate or in the middle of nowhere in fucking
You don't know. It's never a good time to drink Fireball. That's my point. Doesn't matter.
Is there good Fireball drinks, like mixes?
You know, I haven't had a good Fireball cocktail.
Because a Fireball is the worst part of the cocktail.
It is. I mean, people... It's a certain demographic that drink Fireball whiskey. Like, if
It's
you
definitely not the higher end.
no, if you drink Fireball whiskey, that means like, I don't know. Like, that means you probably got hair on your chest. It's like, man or woman, you got hair on your chest, and it's probably pretty long.
It's like that one little pube hair that's like curling on there. It's like, I got hair on my chest.
That singular one little curl.
Uh-huh.
It could be. That's besides the point, though. Like, Fireball was...
Tell me about those flights, though.
Beer flights. No, I was telling you about my drinking experience before 21.
Yeah.
So that was just like cheap liquor. Like, everybody knows you go through cheap liquor phase. Like, Burnett's, whatever you can get your hands on at that point. You will drink hand sanitizer if it's cheap enough. Okay. I'm kidding.
Taste test?
I'm kidding.
Jet
No,
fuel.
after I turned 21, I was kind of like turned off of drinking for a little bit because I was just like, it's legal now. It's fun. It's like okay to do. It's like, are you tired? Are you tired? You were yawning.
I woke up at 6.
Oh God. Anyway, so after I turned 21, like I said, I was gonna turned off by drinking, but then I started going to like occasionally like tap rooms, breweries, and I got introduced to ciders. Ciders. For those that do not drink beer, try cider.
What is cider, to be exact?
It is
I'm
like
not
sweet
sure.
beer.
It's sweet beer.
Yes.
Now, that's the best way to get into beer is sweet beer.
It's sweet beer.
Because
Yeah.
all other beers are bitter.
So I
and
think
they're-
cider is brewed differently. Not sure. I think it differs. I'm not sure how. Because I'm not a beer expert by all means. Like, if you guys know me, like, I did not start drinking beer till like just recently. And that's because I started embracing my Colorado-ness.
Oh, goodness. Colorado, huh? And their local breweries
They're
are...
amazing. Well, I like supporting local breweries.
If they're good. But if they're crap, like one extended family member brought us that we never finished. I don't know what happened to that with those.
Oh, the ones that were sitting in beer. Okay, so
Those, I don't know if she
so
was like...
those are local brews. Those are beers that are brewed here in Colorado. They're not they're not like tap rooms or breweries. Tap rooms or breweries are like where the brews are housed, where you're giving the beer a brick and mortar place to be on tap, to be hooked up to kegs and to be poured on tap. The ones that they brought were brews that were like probably brewed out in Breckenridge and then imported to liquor stores out here. So if you ever had a beer that's bottled versus beer in a can and beer on draft, there's 3 very different flavors. They could all be the same beer. You could get Blue Moon, bottled in a can or on tap, but they're all going to taste super different.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So that's the only reason why I like to go to breweries and tap rooms is because when you get it on tap, straight from the keg,
It's much better.
mwah, yeah, it's
like aerated. It's
like when you aerate your wine or you chill your wine that's supposed to be chilled.
Yeah, because like we both been in the restaurant industry. In the back, they don't keep carbonated packs of like sodas or stuff. It's carbonated. That's why it tastes better because it's carbonated as you pour it.
As you pour it,
because then like the
yes.
bubbles are freshly in there. And it's like, man, why is it so crisp? It's in HD.
Yep.
It's
in HD.
And when we get
Exactly,
in, you get in
that's what
the
it feels
can, you're
like.
like, it's not the same. It's not the same because like they have like machines in
It's
the back,
flat.
they have the tap going through the restaurant that like brings the
Feeds
liquid, that
the-
feeds the
yep.
liquids. Either like the because I worked in a restaurant that. As you know,
It was a tap room, right?
It's a
The
tap room
pizzeria
restaurant.
tap room.
It's a pizzeria tap room / bar.
Yes.
Which they had a lot of taps, like 30 plus taps in the
bar area?
In the bar area.
Wow.
It went around like the whole island because it's like a
bar.
little island in the middle, and then there's seats around for the restaurant stuff. But that island had like 30 plus things.
That's
And like they had like a little cooler for our like the pizza stuff and all our ingredients, and then they had a whole separate thing that was bigger than ours for the breweries, and
It
it
was
was
like a whole
all
separate
kegs.
walk-in, yeah.
And I'm like, man, wow.
That's why it's different. I think. I don't know. I like because like regular beer, like the only cased beer or canned beer that I'll have is just Mexican beer because I truly like the taste of Mexican beer.
Which Mexican beer? because not all Mexican beers are created equal.
I
know there's Tecate, that's like the cheap of the cheap.
That's like,
and then there's
that's
like Corona, and then there's a Caguama, or that's the size of a bottle of a.
Yeah. So a caguama's like a 40 ounce. For those who
There's a
don't
40
know,
ounce
when
over
people like, let's go 40s
Can I get a
and shorties,
40?
it's caguama. Yeah.
A Caguama.
It's a caguama.
I still have to try a Caguama.
I've had a caguama. It was like a rite of passage when I was in Mexico, when I was hanging out with all my primos over there. Like, I was like the only girl. So they're like, we're not going to get you a little girly drink. Like, you're drinking what we're drinking or you're out the group. So I was like, all right, give me whatever you guys are drinking, right? And they came out with the caguamas, which are like 240 ounces. And I was like, bro, just one 40 ounce had me like, woo. Yeah, that was not a good time. Anyway.
Crazy.
Beer. Mexican beer. I like Modelo.
Modelo.
I love Modelo.
Is that top of everything?
I like Pacifico. If Pacifico's on draft.
That's what Dad's favorite is, Pacifico. But on draft, even better.
Even better.
It's just that much more fresher.
Lord,
It's just that much more fresher.
Yep.
But if it's canned, it's a little lower tier.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that Mexican beer.
Honestly,
top tier,
anything on
Pacifico.
tap. If I find a Mexican beer on tap, boom, I'm there. Usually, I usually go for more ciders or Mexican beers if there really isn't anything. But I'm a cocktail kind of girly. I love cocktails.
What kind of cocktails?
Honestly, anything.
Anything.
Anything that doesn't have Fireball whiskey.
You just tell the bartenders, like, yeah, can I get anything that does not have Fireball,
Okay,
please?
let me...
Just, like, spin a roulette table and you'd be like, that one.
I'm not a big fan of, like, old fashions. I don't like having, like, bitters in my drink. Not a big fan of that.
So sweet drinks better?
I like sweet drinks. I don't like spicy. So any, like, spicy margs or anything with jalapenos in it is, like, a turn off for me.
Well, if it's, like, a little spicy, then it's okay. Like, if, like, they have, like, what is it? The tahini on the rim. Then it's like, okay,
yeah, because
it's
I like
flavorful.
micheladas. I like micheladas.
But if they put whole ass jalapenos in there, I'm like,
I'm turned off. I'm like,
that's not my spice tolerance.
Yeah, no.
I got the spice tolerance of a toddler. Give me the bell peppers.
Destroyed my life, honestly. Like, why'd you have to call me out like that? But yeah, so that's cocktails. Cocktails for me, honestly. Yeah. Yep. I don't really like mules. Like, ginger beer is pretty good. Okay. But it's not my favorite. It's not what I gravitate towards. What else do I not like? I don't know. I'm pretty open to cocktails. As long as it's mixed, I don't like straight liquor, I'm cool with it.
Well, I went through a weird phase where I did straight liquor for a bit, and I don't think I told this anyone, so breaking news.
Hearing it here
I'm
first.
not a square.
That's news to me.
All right, but this was way long ago. It was after a breakup. It was bad. But
Who says I'm not a square? All right.
Our parents did not lock the liquor cabinet.
As mom walks past.
All right, we're in the clear. So my favorite liquor is Crown Royal. That is the smoothest going down. It's the smoothest going down because that's all we had here is whiskey. So it was Crown Royal. That was the smoothest out of all the other ones. Because I tried like some Irish like cream,
the Baileys stuff, like
horrible.
Kahlua.
No.
Luis, we went
and then
through
and then there's this like square bottle that we usually buy at my padrino. Yeah.
Was it Hornitos?
The big one. It's like the big.
Was it blue?
I think it was blue or like a dark. It's like a dark color. It's a dark color. I think we have the one in the garage.
Was it Buchanan's?
I think it's Buchanan's or something like that. Yeah, but it's a big bottle, and we get it for him like for his birthday or like for like gift.
I'll have to see it.
But like that one was the second one, and then everything else was horrible. Vodka horrible.
Luis, I went through a trashy alcohol phase. I'm talking like cheap Bernasties. We used to, that was our code. Like for Burnett's, we call it Bernasties because it was straight nasty rubbing alcoholic vodka.
Ooh.
It was gross, but it was like $18 for like a big old handle. So me and my girlfriends would be like, yeah, let's get a pink lemonade handle and split it, and we'd be fucked up by the end of the night.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. No wonder I don't like to drink nowadays.
Now it just gives me like a sick feeling in the stomach now when I ever think of like straight liquor.
It's disgusting.
Because I did not steer away from Fireball, and I actually tried like shots of Fireball.
My gag reflex is like...
Oh, I mixed liquors. Shame on me.
I could do a whole podcast episode on what not to do
and I
when you're mixing liquors.
I had Fireball shots, and then I also had a gin and tonic after, and that was the worst experience with alcohol
Gin
I had in
tastes
my
like
life.
poison to me.
It was not good, and I'm like, that's
Gin
not good.
like
But then this was already after I had Fireball shots, like 5 Fireball shots.
So anything at that point tasted good to you.
I was like, that's better than Fireball. Ooh.
I had an awful experience with Jägermeister.
Jaeger. I would not touch Jaeger. It's cough syrup.
It literally tastes like cough syrup. It tastes like black licorice in a bottle. It is disgusting. Oh man, just thinking about it is like.
Jaeger got you doing those sit-ups like Gabriel Iglesias says.
Yeah, the heaving sit-ups, your abs the next day. I was like, yo. But yeah, that's dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys drink Jaeger straight, like.
I think you gotta see a mental
You're going
health counselor.
through something. You are going through something, and I'm so sorry for you because
nobody drinks Jaeger.
Nobody drinks Jaeger. It's the same people. It's the Jaeger. It's the people that drink Jaeger straight. They hang out with the Fireball people that drink the Fireball straight. Like, never again.
Take a swig of your kombucha. Let's get off her
It
high of
smelled like.
alcohol.
Yeah.
It smelled like Jaeger for once.
No, I went through a Bacardi phase. Bacardi rum.
Bacardi. I see those commercials everywhere on my Snapchat feed. It's like Bacardi, and I'm like, no.
But like back in my day, like that was it. Like everyone's like, "Yo, we're gonna get fucked up off this Bacardi," and I was like, "No, not again." I was like, "What
time I've already thrown out
again?" Not literally. I just wanted to do like wine coolers and spritzers, but peer pressure, you know.
Gets to you.
It gets to you.
It's like, oh, they're taking shots. I gotta take a shot.
You gotta take shots. And who would have known that at the ripe age of 17, 18 years old, I was taking shots like a grown man? Like, that is not normal. Now that I'm 26, I have one beer and I'm sleepy. I have one beer and I'm like, I think it's time to take a nap.
It's nap time.
Yeah. Sleepyhead Barbie over here. Activities include having one beer, then passing out.
Napping everywhere.
Napping everywhere, even if there's no pillow provided. Yeah, so that was that experience.
So changing subjects, I would like to talk about recent restaurant visits. Because during my lunch break for college, I went to this nearby restaurant, which was called, I think, Rush Bowl.
Were they like the fruit?
Yeah, it's a smoothie bowl place.
Does it build your own, or do you just choose from a menu?
You choose or you build your own.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't get anything because I looked at the price and I'm like, oh, my heart, my wallet, I cannot afford this. It's like a little like.
Me anywhere we go.
It's like a yogurt sized cup, like there's frozen yogurt sized cups.
Yeah.
So not the big one, but like the normal rate one. That one for $10, $11, $12.
Tell me why I thought that size was a kid size.
No,
and Josh literally straight up looked at me. No, it was a net. It was a net in my blend. They straight up looked at me and they're like, "That's a regular size." I was like, anyway, you said it was $11.
Like $11, $12, and then anything you want to add it on top of that was $1 extra after the first hopping, and I'm like, oh, they're scamming us.
This is like, can I just get a plain yogurt?
Can I just get a milk smoothie?
Can I actually get the fresh fruit in the back?
Yeah. Can I just get? Can I get the banana and that's it? And you're still gonna be charging me $4 for a banana.
No, I was thinking about that the other day. Is at the restaurant that I used to work at. They had a quesadilla. It was what they called an open-faced quesadilla. You guys caught that abuse on camera, right?
No, that happened. I don't know. I was smacking someone's booty.
Anyway, so it was an open-faced, right? Quesadilla. It was straight flour tortilla with shredded cheese and onions. Guess how much it cost?
Wait, that's it?
Yeah, and a little bit of sweet peppers.
I guess $10.
$13.
Holy hell.
It's like 13 something. Which makes me think like, okay, people are willing to pay those prices for food that they're not familiar with, right? The demographic that's paying for these plates are clearly not familiar with real Mexican food, right? Or maybe they are, and they don't like real Mexican food. They like
the American
$14
Mexican food.
open face
Because they think
flour tortillas with cheese on them.
they're getting what they're paying for.
But that made me think, like, maybe, like, us being familiar with the cuisine, like, is there an untapped market for authentic food that's affordable? Or, like, is just inflation fucking us right now? Right?
Partially inflation. But it's not all that.
Speaking of food, it's making me hungry.
Talking about that, you're taking off your $13 quesadilla from the Comal right now, aren't you?
I'm going to show you guys basically what I'm talking about. We're charging $13 for this.
Hey,
with onions and peppers on it. For reference.
That is robbery. And we're back.
Don't mind me. I'm eating.
Such good ASMR. But more importantly...
Don't try me, Luis. I'll start an ASMR channel.
Eat those.
And I'll do ASMR mukbangs. I'll straight crunch. For everybody. You feel me?
All right. Going off what you asked me, if there's a market for authentic, affordable food.
Or is inflation stifling that?
Inflation stifling the growth of the economy, period. That's what it's there for. I don't want to get too much into the macroeconomics of it, because I ever take the class. But inflation is to stop the economy from growing too fast to not cause another collapse.
Okay.
So it's there to like kind of stop us, you know, it's like a rein on a horse, be like, whoa, before you run into the fence and, you know, crash over the hill.
Okay.
So that's what it's there for.
Okay. That's what the greater global economy's for?
Yeah.
Okay.
For America, precisely. But America is basically running the economy right now because they're the biggest economy besides China. But we'll see about that later.
Yeah, I don't know much about economics, so.
But definitely, yes, it's stifling businesses, but to the point, there is always a market for that.
So let me ask you a question.
Affordable, authentic food. But the thing is, when it has to be cheap, you're giving up either quality time, or what was it? So if you want it cheap, you have to give up quality and time. Or I think it's like cheap quality. It's like a triangle of like
if
how
you want it fast,
a service.
You're giving up the other two.
So if you want it fast, you're giving up cheap and quality. If you want quality, you know, it's a triangle. I'll put it on the diagram here. But you're giving up something when you want it cheap and authentic. Then you're giving up time. Yes. You can make it cheap and authentic, but it will take time to make that. And you won't be making 20% margin of profit, which is what should be in all industries, at least 20% margin profit, or else business won't be going anymore. But
Hi, Papa.
hello.
I'm good. How are you?
Muy bien. But that's the reason.
That's what we're trying to get into.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We're gonna have to cut it. I was gonna say we're gonna have to cut it early due to technical issues. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Luis is the tech guy here, so I'm gonna let him figure that out.
I really don't know what happened, but it won't happen again. So we'll leave you off.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Make the world a better place than you left it, and we'll see you next podcast episode. Anything?
Spread love and peace.
Bye.
Bye.